Most people today will use their phones or smartwatches to check the time, so the idea of spending thousands of dollars on a high-end mechanical watch may seem ridiculous. However, watches are more than just a way to tell time. They are also works of art that you can wear and are often used as investments. Today, we'll talk about the top 10 most expensive luxury watch brands in the world and how much they start at. My divine luxuriers, make sure you stay until the end. Number 10. Jaeger-LeCoultre. The Swiss company Jaeger-LeCoultre was started in 1833 by Antoine LeCoultre. Famous people like Charlie Chaplin and more recently, Jay-Z and Keith Harington have worn their watches. The brand created the world's smallest mechanical watch movement and the world's thinnest watch movement. It also made one of the world's most complicated watches and invented the millionometer, the first tool that could measure a micrometer. Jaeger-LeCoultre's current entry-level watch, the Reverso Classic Monophase, cost $4,300. Number 9. Rolex. Rolex is one of the most famous premium watch brands. It was founded in 1905 in London as Wilsdorf and Davis by the German businessman Hans Wilsdorf and his brother-in-law Davis. Wilsdorf saw that wristwatches were a profitable business long before his competitors did, and his brand became more and more famous. In 1926, Rolex made a name for itself by making the Oyster, the first watch that was completely waterproof. Rolex watches have become a must-have for the rich and famous. The name Rolex was actually made up by Wilsdorf himself. The least expensive Rolex watch costs around $5,000. The most expensive Rolex watch costs more than $1 million. At an auction, Paul Newman's Rolex Daytona was sold for a crazy price of $17.8 million. Also at 9th place, Jacob & Co. Jacob Arabo got his start in the world of fine jewelry and watches as an apprentice when he was 16 years old. Not long after that, in 1986, he started his own luxury company called Jacob & Co. Jacob & Co. is a great choice for people who don't want a traditional dial. The brand is known for being very creative, and here you can buy a watch with a roulette table, a dragon, or a piano as the dial. Collections like the Astronomia raise the bar. It has very complex creations like a visible rotating solar system in a glass case. Prices for these timepieces often go over $1 million. The most famous watch from Jacob & Co. is the Billionaire, which is worth $18 million. Over the years, several billionaires have been made, and at least one was sold to boxer Floyd Mayweather. Number 8. Blancpain. Blancpain was started in 1735 and is the oldest watch company in the world. Johann Jacques Blancpain started making watches in a small Swiss village, and the Swiss watch brand stayed in the Blancpain family for almost 200 years until 1992, when it became a part of the Swatch Group. Since 1953, the Blancpain 50 Fathoms line has grown into one of the most reliable and widely used diverse watches. Blancpain watches start at about $13,000. Number 7. Vacheron Constantin. Vacheron Constantin was established in 1755 and is thought to be the oldest watch company that is still in business. In 1790, they made the first known complications for days and days. They also made the first 6 watches with quarter repeaters, which can chime the hours and quarter hours when the user asks. When George Auguste joined the company in 1839, he was able to change the watch business by standardizing the watch movements into calibers. As shown by the 56 automatic model, the starting price for a Vacheron Constantin watch is around $13,000. Number 6. Breguet. Breguet is one of the few high-end watch companies that was started in France. Its headquarters are in Switzerland, though. Abraham Louis Breguet was a jeweler from Switzerland. In 1775, he opened a shop in Paris. Napoleon Bonaparte was one of the many well-known people who liked Breguet watches. The most well-known piece is the Marie Antoinette, a pocket watch that was ordered by Marie Antoinette's first husband. The pocket watch took 40 years to make and is worth $30 million. The company's slogan is "Every woman is a queen," and the prices for this brand start at $15,000. Number 5. A. Lange & Söhne. Ferdinand Adolf Lang started the company in 1845. In 1868, his two oldest sons joined the business, and it became known as A Lange Unsuna. The German luxury watch company is known for making only mechanical movements, which are the parts that make the watch work. The cheapest of these watches, the Saxonia Thin, starts at about $17,300. Ed Sheeran and Bill Clinton are two famous people who wear A Lange Unsuna watches. With a grand complication, the most expensive watch in Germany, A Lange Unsuna, shows off a work of watchmaking. The rose gold model has 876 parts and 7 different kinds of problems. It took experts 7 years to make, and there are only 6 of them in the world. Each one costs about $2 million. Number 4. Patek Philippe. In 1839, Antoine Norbert de Patek and François Sepec started a watch company, Patek. It is still the only watch company in Geneva that is owned by a single family. In 1845, Sepec left the company and Patek hired Jean-Adrien Philippe, a French jeweler. People think that the brand came up with a winding crown. This mechanism changed the way watches were used at the time because it got rid of the need for a separate key to set the time or wind the movement. All of the watches are made in-house, and the brand thinks of them as unique pieces. Each watch has its own seal of quality, which shows how well made and reliable it is. The brand's cheapest watch, the Aquanaut, with an automatic movement, costs $18,600 here. The Grandmaster Chime 6300A010 is the most expensive Patek Philippe watch ever made. It is the only Patek Philippe watch made of stainless steel, and it has 20 complicated parts. It was made for a charity watch auction, where the best watchmakers in the world make one-of-a-kind watches to raise as much money as possible for a good cause. At the sale, the watch was sold for $31 million, making it one of the most expensive watches ever sold. Number 3. Audemars Piguet. Jules Louis Audemars and Edward Auguste Piguet started Audemars Piguet in 1875. The brand combined traditional watchmaking techniques with the new technology skills of the time. When the Royal Oak Offshore was first released in 1993, its 42mm diameter was unusually big for the time. The watches, which show sturdiness and strength, eventually caught the attention of famous people like Jay-Z and Leo Messi and changed watch trends. As shown by the Royal Oak Quartz model, the lowest price for the name is $27,000. The partnership with Marvel Entertainment opens a new chapter in the history of Royal Oak concept, with a line of superhero character watches, starting with a Black Panther edition, which is limited to only 250 pieces. It has a sandblasted titanium case with a black ceramic bezel and crown, and a spectacular dial with a sculpted and hand-painted white gold Black Panther. This watch is expected to cost around $170,000. Number 2. F.B. Journe. Francois Paul Journe started F.B. Journe in 1999, and the company still makes watches the way they did in the 18th century. Journe made his first wristwatch with a remontoire system in 1992. He had already made one for a pocket watch, but this one became the model for the Tourbillon Souverain watches, which were a big hit when they came out in 1999. F.B. Journe is a relatively new watch brand. The watches are made to last for hundreds of years while still working well. They meet the standards of the most discerning watch collectors because they are made with intricate details and have innovative movements. The most costly watch from the brand is the Astronomic Blue, which was sold at auction for $1.9 million at the Only Watch charity auction in 2019. The F.B. Journe Astronomic Blue is one of the most important works of art in the watch world because of its prototype movement, unique blue chrome panel, and special tantalum case. Prices for F.B. Journe start at $26,000 and go up from there. Number 1. Richard Mille. Richard Mille, which is at the top of our list of most expensive watch brands, has been making watches since 1974. He started his own brand in 1999. Mille made his first watch in 2001. It was made with techniques and materials from airplanes and Formula One race cars. One of the brand's early themes was a racing machine on the wrist. Because the watch's case was shaped like a barrel, distortion, he created the brand's signature style. Because the parts are bent, these watches are hard and expensive to make, and they are limited in number because of the complicated production process and high-quality parts. The RM016 Extra Flat, which costs $60,000 is said to be the least expensive RM watch right now. However, it is rare to find an RM watch for less than $100,000. Reports from the media say that the Tourbillon RM 5602 Sapphire, which costs $2 million, is Richard Mille's most expensive watch. This watch has a 3-piece sapphire glass case that lets you see the intricate movement right away. The case is water resistant up to 30 meters, and the base plate is made of titanium. Only 10 pieces of this limited edition model were produced. This is the end of our list of the world's top 10 most expensive luxury watch brands. My divine luxurers, we have one more question for you. What is your personal favorite watch brand? Share your thoughts in the comments.